Ethan, this is Keaton Everett from ABC, going over your pitching video from the spring break camp. We're going to go kind of break down your mechanics and delivery step by step, and just kind of talk about a few things I'm seeing, a few fixes we can make, a few things that I like, and just kind of go from there and give you a couple tools to help you improve your pitching. So right off the bat, overall it's pretty solid. Your body's kind of working in the right way, especially for your age. Everything's looking pretty good. So we'll just kind of start off in each step, and the first step here is how we're coming set, what our balance is, what our posture is, and we'll kind of break down, take a look at what you're doing at foot strike, how your hips and shoulders are working, and how you're releasing the ball. So right off the bat here, you're pretty good setup. All right, we like to see athletic stance, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width, just kind of like you're shooting free throws. All right, one of the things that will make it easier to get consistent and for timing is to move your glove from up here and put it right down around your belly button, around your belt, because you do drop your hand really far down. And so we always want to limit movements as much as we can, limit unnecessary movements, especially in our upper body. To be consistent, to get that same timing every time, we need to limit our movement. So if we're moving our glove a little bit lower from up in this position down here, we're limiting about a foot of movement, and that's going to make us time our where our hands are breaking, when our arms starting, and that'll make it a lot easier. So as you see, you're going here, your hands and your glove drop anyways, so why not cut down that movement to make it easier to time? All right, when your hands are going down, you might break at one point, you might break here, another time you might break here. It's just so hard to time with all that extra movement. All right, another thing we're going to look at balance wise is how you're set up. Okay, right here you're set up basically right down the middle of your body, all right, which is generally where you would be, in any athletic position, doing a squat, doing shooting a free throw. But with pitching, we want to start our weight over that back hip, all right. And the reason being for that is, if you look at a sprinters, they start in those starting blocks, the gun shoots, and their first motion is forward. All right, they don't rock back and then go forward. Same thing with pitching, is we don't want any backwards movement. That's just wasting energy. That's just taking more time. It makes it less consistent. And so if you watch what your head's doing as you go back, you'll see that you're shifting your head back almost past that center line. So what I'd like to see you do is come set over that back leg first, so you don't have to rock backwards. All right, so the video kind of moves here, but the more we can see that back head kind of over that back foot, so we're already loaded up on that back leg. We got about 80% of our weight on that back leg, and 20% on that front leg. That'll limit that motion and clean you up a little bit. So that's where we're starting over the rubber. How we set up is real important, because that all kind of leads us down the right path to consistency, or that will make it harder as we perform the motion. All right, leg kick's pretty good. I like how that legs has a good angle right there. It's not flexed up. You got a little bit of turn in your hips, so you're able to start them forward. All right, so as we watch everything coming forward, you're driving with your hips. You got that heel open. Doesn't look like you're turning that knee and left leg open. You're driving down the mound. What you are doing though is you're opening up really early with your leg and your hips. So if you're to draw a straight line from your back leg or back foot, you generally kind of want to land in that same spot. From the balls of your foot on that right foot, you want to land somewhere in there. All that's telling you when you're opening up is you're pulling off your left hip early, and that's losing a lot of power in your hips. All right, where we get velocity, where we get power, where we limit strain on our joints is through that hip-shoulder separation, and we need to stay close so we can get in those hips. So as you come into foot strike, you're seeing that because you're so early with your hips, your weight's now out over that front foot, and you're just not going to be able to get any hip-shoulder separation. All right. So in this position, see, you're early with everything, so your front shoulder's open early, your glove's starting to tuck away. All right. At this position, we'd like to see you back a little bit farther over your back hip, back over here, and this glove and elbow hasn't rotated down yet, and it's still out over that front foot, waiting for those hips to start going, and then that shoulder gets going. So as you'll see here, you're just out over that front part of your body, the center of your weight's right out here. We'd like to see it back here, but we want to keep that spine straight. All right, that is something that you do good. You do keep a pretty good straight spine. You get a little bit bent back here. All right, we generally want to see a nice, straight, neutral spine. All right, but as you're coming, you're just opening up early, everything's getting out front, and you're pulling off the baseball. All right, I do like, it looks like your fingers are getting behind the ball here and on top, which is good. It's just, if you can just clean up that front side, keep that closed a little bit longer, and get that glove out over this front foot, that's going to help you stay in line a lot more and get a little bit more hip-shoulder separation. And again, that hip-shoulder separation we're looking for is that hip forward here, and that upper body, those shoulders are back here in that position we kind of talked about earlier. So those hips all the way towards that catcher, and that upper body hasn't turned yet. All right. Another thing we're seeing is that back foot starting to come off the ground. All right. As you're releasing. Okay, so you're releasing the ball with one foot on the ground. All right. To be balanced, to be athletic, we need 2 feet on the ground. All right. So that's just a function of pulling off early and coming open early. That back foot's going to be off the ground because you're so early with everything. So when you're staying back, able to clean that up a little bit, that back foot's going to stay on the ground, and that's going to get you out a little bit farther over your front foot. So now that body angle is going to look a little more like this. That back foot's going to be on the ground still. You're driving everything through that back leg, through those back toes, and you're getting out. And instead of that ball traveling up, we're going to get more angle on that ball, and that ball is going to be starting to travel down into the zone. All right, so that's just more powerful. That gives you more movement, more bite on your break and stuff. But overall, your arm looks like it's in a pretty good, healthy spot as you're throwing. All right, you're coming through. I like to see this kind of neutral angle through your shoulders and your elbows. A lot of times guys will get up here, adduct that shoulder pretty extreme, and put some strain on those joints. So it looks like you're pretty good set up. Just keep closed a little bit longer, and that'll just clean you up real easily. So just keep a focus on that when you're playing catch. Do some drills with both feet on the ground as you're throwing. Work on finishing out over this front foot more. So you're going to be here when you throw and finish more in a almost a T position with that upper body. Just get that chest out there, really get out there, hold it in balance, and that'll help you kind of work on that hip-shoulder separation. And that's something too as you get older, when you increase strength, you can get a little more coordinating and get some flexibility in there. That'll help it up. But anyways, pretty good overall. Good luck this season. Hope you had a great time at camp. Learned a lot, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC.